welcome back to another episode of the Brick Separators. Derek, welcome back.
Thank you. It's good to be back down here in my safety zone.
Your safety zone. Yeah, you're ever expanding safety zone, it seems like.
Yeah, you get that extra capital in your pocket and you're like, I'm going to do this eventually. Let's just get the stuff. And when I have the time or feel like it, I'm just going to start doing it. And it just happens that way.
Get that extra capital in your pocket and you go, oh, Acro Mills drawers are $40 a pop. Yeah, let's buy them now.
Or they go to 60.
Yeah, right. Jeez. Man, crazy. I think that's just the supply problem going on right now. Anyways, let's talk about your shows. Like, now you're done. All four of them are done. What do you think? Would you do it again?
I would definitely do it again. I know it won't ever be that kind of a crazy scale of, I guess, was it 4 of them in 5 weeks? I kept saying 4 in 6 weeks, but I'll do the math. I don't know. I'm not doing math right now. Anyway, yeah, it was definitely worth it. I hit the goal I was hoping to hit. I didn't hit my dream goal of even better sales, but I learned the one thing I learned is that having a double booth makes a huge difference because you get more people in front of your booth, even though it's double the cost. It definitely paid off in Milwaukee because I paid for that one a long time ago and it was canceled. And these other 3 I just paid for a few months ago. I'm like, I'll try a single booth. And I definitely learned that bringing more of a variety of stuff that I can with the double booth definitely helped out. But yeah, so one thing I'm going to put you on the spot. What is the best thing that the best advice you learned or the best thing by coming out there and setting up with me like that, you like golden information for somebody that you would say?
I think I talked about it last episode, which was the sale price. Like you had like this, like each station, except for your like what I called your premium minifigures, which were the ones that you had labeled of the price. Each one had like some kind of deal, right, to get you to spend more, right? Like, so you had a $3 bin of minifigures, but like it was, what was it, 4 for 10?
Yeah, it was $3 or 4 for 10. So you say
4 for 10, right? Like, and so I was just amazed standing there and watching people just hand me a $10 bill and then start digging in through it. You know, I'm like, what? How do you even know what's in there? Like, I thought that was just crazy, and then like your $6 minifigure stand in 4 for 20, it was like nobody, just like hardly anybody just bought 1 or 2 minifigures. It was always 4, right? Like they wanted to go for the deal. And so like that little sort of sales pitch or like the deal like made people buy more, which was like crazy to see to me, like to see people act like that. It was great.
The art of the deal, right? And I always put the sale price bigger on the top, and like it's like 4 for 20, and then underneath it smaller, $6 or $6 each.
I thought that was great. And I was like, the other thing that I don't think we talked about in either the episodes or you talked a little bit about it, but like people came up to you to trade and you were willing to do that, it was, you felt, for you felt like you were getting more of a value out of it than they were getting out of it, but like you were getting more minifigures to, replenish and, probably more valuable minifigures to replenish sometimes.
Yeah, I mean, my goal is to make a little bit on those, but ultimately, if I break even, I get new stuff that I didn't have before, and that's definitely value in itself. So that's my theory on that for sure. Awesome.
I was surprised. It happened like at least a half dozen times in Michigan. I was surprised that people actually came to trade like that. It was crazy to me.
Yeah,
I hadn't experienced that before, so that was kind of cool.
Yeah, it happens a lot in our local stuff in Green Bay that I'm actually next weekend. I have a Saturday show at the mall, and then that might be my last one. I might do another one the Black Friday Saturday, after Black Friday there. So I don't know, but I already signed up for the one at the mall, and there's a lot of trading going on there. Lots of good stuff.
Mm-hmm. How do you get into those mall ones? Like, I don't know if our mall does those.
Well, it's just a lady in Green Bay that loves Lego, and she's an organizer. She's used to be a wedding planner, so she knows how to get events together. So you got to find someone in your area and find some people that are willing to do it, and you got to make it worth it for them. Start small. We started in a bowling alley, so
the other thing that I was I got out of it was your minifigure stand. Like I really liked how you built it and you made it so like it was easy to pull off, but then like at the same time, you know, I was like thinking about like, oh, how can we make this better? You know, like
Yep.
so I'm like maybe about 60% done with my minifigure stand.
Oh, nice.
I'm at the point where I need more bricks to to fill
Yep.
the space, and so that's what's holding me back right now. But um, I'm
Definitely.
going. I'm like going through all of the bricks that I have in my bulk pile. It's crazy.
But we just what everyone wants to know, did you get your lawn mowed? Did you finish it?
I did. Yes. Yes.
Are you
I
gonna
actually
buy
put
a
my
gas
long
lawnmower yet?
did I get but no, I still have my battery powered one.
You need to get one. A
No,
backup.
man. No way. I
You're always
love it.
complaining on your video like how you have to wait for the battery. You can't mow when it's wet. No.
Well, you can't mow when it's wet, even
Yeah, that's
with
true.
a I mean it'll look like crap, but uh yeah, with the battery power one, you definitely can't do that. But the battery power is great. I have two batteries. One's a
Yeah.
smaller one. It's like 2 amps, and it's used. I got it with my leaf blower and
Hmm.
weed whacker, and so I always start with that one first, and it lasts about 15 minutes, and or less with if it's longer, and then
Yeah.
I'll take that off and put it on the high efficiency charger that the big 6 amp one kind that came with the lawnmower came with, and that'll last about 45 minutes. And
Hmm.
so I can usually get like the whole front done. By the time I'm done with that, the smaller one's done charging. And so I can swap back and I can usually get the whole lawn done like on a nice day that where the grass is dry and I haven't let it go too long. I can usually get the whole thing done in a couple hours, you know. So
Yeah.
it's when I let it get too long and it's wet and then it starts bogging down and all that. Crazy.
You got it.
Yeah, that's what everybody wants to hear in this episode. How did you do in your lawn mowing? What do we want to talk about? Derek, I'll let you describe what we're going to talk about today.
Oh, I guess overall there's slow periods in this business. And it's like, what do you do? We've covered, how to drive more sales. We've covered that before. We'll talk about that a little, but maybe what other things can you think about or do when it's slow that is not involved, maybe even not with the BrickLink store, but in general to help you overall.
I, th- I, th- I think one thing that's clear is we are in a slow period for some reason. A lot of sellers that I'm watching or talking to are saying that it's slow and it's surprising them right now because it's usually the time it's picking back up for the Christmas season.
Yep.
So yeah, I mean, I think the one video that really caught my eye about this was Brick Arena's latest vlog. He was talking about how really slow it's been for him, and he's almost too shy to like show the orders that he's doing every month. But
yeah.
I'm also of that, like I don't want to show the lack of orders that I have, but I'm a little okay with the slowness, right? Like I've been after I got back to work, it's good to be slow. I haven't been uploading as much, but let's talk about that. Let's first talk about why is it slow right now? Any thoughts?
I don't know. There hasn't been a stimulus payment, a big one. I don't know. In the last few weeks, I talked about inflation on the news. So people, they hear that prices of stuff are going to go up and this and that. And maybe like they don't want to spend on just general things and fun stuff right now until they make sure that they're going to be good for, I don't know, the winter. That's just one theory that I have. I don't know. It's
with the supply problems and cost of things creeping up. Like, I could see people tightening their belt right now.
There's been a lot of good Lego set deals, and obviously the releases of new stuff that people want to buy, so they might be spending their stuff on new Lego sets. That's also a theory. You never know.
Yeah. So let's talk about. I mean, we've talked about like certain things in past episodes about how to jumpstart sales when you need it. You talked about like dialing your sale price so that you can sort of increase or decrease the number of sales? Do you think that works in an economy like this right now?
I definitely think it works. I mean, people are looking for a deal. Like it's the funny thing is Brick Owl, I'm probably on pace for 40 to 50 orders in a month.
Mm-hmm.
I had none today, maybe one yesterday, none the day before. So I've had one Brick Owl sale in 3 days, I think it has been. And I did change my shipping price to $4.95 on there, but I didn't change it on BrickLink. So I think that has something to do with it because there's a lot more smaller orders there. So maybe I should think
Yeah.
about putting it back down or moving it up to like 4.25 or something. Not that big of a jump for $1 more. So there is, it definitely does work. And it's just how it's not fun when you don't get orders, right? It's, if I'm a bigger store, I have a lot going on. So I don't feel like I'm losing anything out on anything. I still have the stuff for sale. It'll sell eventually. So,
Right.
but for a smaller store, it's not fun to go 5 days without an order or 5 days and have two orders. Right.
Yeah.
So, you can just play it by ear, put a sale on, use the BrickLink community tab and put it out there that you have a sale. What I would do is I'd grab in a sale and I put it in there. And then and about a couple hours later, I'd be like, oh yeah. And I do free shipping at $20. So it comes at the top of the list. So, and I'll put another note in there a few hours or the next day and say the sale's still going. So you kind of get that exposure and you definitely see sales coming from that.
You're going to spam that community tab until you're
I haven't used it in a long time, honestly. Yeah. I don't use it anymore, but in the beginning I used it probably once or twice a month. I'd run it like when I had time. I knew I had time on that weekend to do orders. I'd put the sale way up there and get like 10, 12 orders. I'm like, wow, this is fun. But then, that was just fun for the weekend. I get my capital back. I made some money, buy something else.
Yeah. Yeah. Do you think that's worth it? Like, do you think the sale price that you're selling it at is worth the effort and time you're taking to pull all that?
I mean, I'm not buying many sets at retail price. Most of the stuff I was getting was clearance already. So I think it's fine. It's, and we'll touch on this later, but when I think about, we're going to talk about like when is the time to like close up your shop, right? I had a note here, do you want to invest long-term in this or is it just a hobby for fun? That is a mindset that you should have from the beginning. Right. So that, that in my mindset was, I didn't know. So I just wanted to get out what I put in, and just keep on moving forward, trying new things, is what my philosophy was in the beginning.
Sure. Yeah. That's interesting. Like, yeah, very, very interesting to talk about like different mindsets, like based on, whether you're a hobby seller or you're trying to, turn your inventory so you can buy more and sell more and get, continually doing that. And we've talked about that at nauseum in earlier episodes, but that definitely, can guide you into what kind of sales you want to do, how often you want to do it, how often you need those sales to, to stay profitable or to stay getting a living wage in, I guess, if you're trying to do it full time. Right.
Right.
One of the things I've said, and you probably heard me repeat this a lot while I was, complaining about slow sales during my vlogs and stuff like that, is for me, I always thought the way to get out of a slow sale period is just upload more, right? Like, and I think a lot of sellers have that mentality, and I think it works to some degree, right? Like, you upload more, you've got more variety, you've got more things to offer, and so more people come and buy that. But it's funny how when you don't upload, you have like this slow decline of sales until it like sort of like plateaus to the point of like there's nothing left, and you still have like you only sold maybe like a couple thousand of your parts, but yet like you're not selling. So is it the fact that everybody bought all of the parts that they needed from you and you have nothing else to offer, or is it like eBay and there's like an algorithm with the sites and like you're not being pushed up to the top anymore?
I don't think it's an algorithm at all on BrickLink. It's, when I think of a Lego set, when I part it out, there's always common parts or parts that I know sell a lot. So you'll sell all those common parts and that most people are looking for almost every time they buy. So I think that is a big thing. And you don't have any of those more common parts, you are pushed down on lists. I guess it is kind of an algorithm when you talk about the wanted list, right?
Yeah.
Because that's what I go. It's an algorithm that they bring up everyone that has the most parts that you are trying to find. So
Yeah.
you're going to keep pushing down the list and less exposure. And that's where just having repeat customers comes in, where they'll look at your store first instead of using the wanted list. Because I certainly do that with about 3 stores. Before I even go to my wanted list, I go right to those stores and find if they have enough for me to order, and then go from there. So definitely I see that why that would be cause you no more sales once you sell out all those common parts.
I think the stores that I'm seeing right now that are doing reasonably well are the ones that are like focused on variety, right? Like they're buying used and putting in, all of the variety of parts. And I think that is a good strategy because like you said, like me and you do a lot of buying on BrickLink, and I can probably assure that you're buying the same way I'm buying, which is you've got this wanted list, you say buy all, and you look at the top 3 sellers
Yep.
because they have the highest number of unique lots that you're looking for, and potentially the highest number of items from that as well. So you go there first, right? And you don't
Yep.
usually go down more than half the page before you like have already bought all that
You're
you
spent.
yeah you spent, right? So the variety is going to pop you up, right? Because you're going to be able to offer more, and then people aren't going to go down much farther than that. I like the stores that like think that it's based on the alphabetical of your name, of your store name, and they put like A's, A to Z, whatever store name, and it's like, yeah, I don't think that works.
Well,
I know.
I mean, I see where that could work, where you're in, if there's someone just, oh, I want to buy in my state, right? And you go to the list of stores in your state, sure, you might get a couple sales a year on that, but otherwise,
Or
no.
you get like your wanted list is brings back like 20 different stores that all have the same number of unique lots, right? Like then
Yeah,
that'll bounce you up to the top as well. But I don't think that's gonna win you a lot of extra sales. I
no,
don't think so. uh,
no. And you talk about variety. So I'm one that rarely uploads like bulk used pieces, like you have your son sort them and stuff. And
yeah.
so my next expansion, I talk about, I think on my video Monday, or maybe the one that just came out, I don't know, but I am going to be really reorganizing. I'm going to get rid of this used part sorting table actually completely. And you'll see. So I'm going to try it out this winter, and I'll definitely be back and tell you how that goes. Cause I see a lot of stores, like you say, that get the variety from just used parts because they're so cheap to buy a box of 50 pounds, right?
Yeah.
You can find those deals still, and you can find some great stuff in there. So definitely I'm going to try
I,
that.
I gotta say, I've been getting frustrated with trying to get some used lots from various places. I
Yeah.
keep getting outbid at the end, or
Yeah.
yeah, it's like, oh,
Get this dirty old stuff. I hate when that happens. I
oh my
just,
god, the
yeah.
last one. I think I talked about it in my vlog. The last one I got was so bad I had to wear that mask that you gave
Yeah.
me because I was like, oh man, it was making me cough. It was disgusting. So I had to just watch it.
Should have got a clip of that.
No, no, no. I was trying to breathe at the time. What else? What else can we do to jumpstart sales?
And I like talked about this before, but social media. I mean, it's just, I guess the Bricklink community tab is a social media, so it's the same platform, like the same idea. Um, I don't know. Sell some of your personal collection that you don't want to sell. I think that's a good thing. Like I'm sure that a lot of the sellers, like I always talk about, are hobby sellers that just are managing their inventory of Lego.
Yeah,
Else, if you're like, well, I really need to sell some stuff, and just part with some of that stuff, and you're gonna you'll be surprised at seeing some of the prices of stuff right now, and you'll be like, wow, I tripled my money on that. So
hmm
that is definitely an option, just to look into your personal stuff if you have it.
yeah. We talked before about diversifying. Yeah,
Yeah.
where do you think that falls, or how do you think that works now?
I mean, diversifying with BrickLink and Brick Owl, I don't see that as any help. I
Right.
mean, in the end, because I'm paying a 1% fee to sync my stores, which I probably shouldn't. I should probably switch over. Um, it might not even be worth me to have Brick Owl open. I thought about that this past few weeks because it's been so slow. They're like, do I really want to even manage Brick Owl? Do I just close
Mhm.
it down? As it'd be a lot easier just to have BrickLink and not even worry about syncing it up. I don't know. I'm going to give it through the winter and decide later, and that, but because I don't know, diversifying is diversifying. You think of like, am I going to get kicked off of BrickLink and not be able to sell there? Then I can go to Brick Owl, just have your files backed up and you don't have to worry about that if you don't have a Brick Owl store, right?
Yeah.
Um, but yeah, having the eBay is definitely, if I just, it wouldn't work with just BrickLink, in my opinion, as far as working yourself to death.
Yeah.
I'd have to have employees and I'd make less profit if I just did BrickLink. I see these other big stores that have to have employees. I feel like, and I see that it definitely helps, having a 10-hour a week person helping, really you can get a lot more uploaded and done. So,
Yeah.
but yeah, it's a lot of work.
Yeah. I mean, that could be a show for another time that where we bring in a guest to talk about that. But like, at what point do you think about that, and think about where that makes sense? But yeah, that's a totally different mindset and thought there. Um, let's talk about a little bit. Start talking about like what are the indicators that you need to look for when deciding whether or not to continue on with the store? I think that's an important discussion to have. Like, like I said, like I could get out of a sales slump by uploading, but like how much should I spend, and you could go down like a pretty bad spending spree before you realize, hey, this isn't going to work
Yeah.
out anymore for some reason. Like, what are in your mind, what are some of the indicators to you to say, hey, I might need to slow down and try to sell some of this stuff off and maybe get out of, BrickLink altogether?
Yeah, it's tough for me because something I've never really thought about, you know,
Right.
and there's a difference between somebody that's all in. Like the last few months I've been saying I'm all in,
Hmm.
when I buy stuff, I'm like, I'm just all in. I'm going to just put it all out there, get a ton of stuff that's going to last me a few years on one product. Like, why would you need 75 of this minifigure? Because I know in 3 years I'll sell all 75 and, things like that. But so the mindset I can't really say when it's time to get out. It's if it's not working, I mean, you got to have the conversations with your family. Is it,
Hmm.
and things like that? Is it taking too much time? Are you exhausted every day?
Yeah.
Because I always talk about when people are like, oh, I'm excited to do a BrickLink store. My best advice is to have fun. I always say be very organized and have fun. That's the advice I always give. Um, because it can easily spiral out of control where it's just wearing you down if you're not doing things right, you're not efficient. So you got to have those conversations with the people around you. You don't want to affect other people's lives, in that case, because
Yeah.
I don't have any other hobbies. This is it. I mean, this is what it's been the last 5 years, and I've enjoyed it. I've liked that. I mean, that's why you got to have a cutoff point. You can't
Hmm.
just keep working through the night when you have other people you're with.
Yeah.
Um, so yeah, my opinion is I really can't even answer that question.
Yeah. I think you also need to look at the financial aspects of it too, right? Like if you're keeping good records of your finances, you'll know,
Yeah.
right? Like, for me, this year has been kind of a bad year. I'm like in the red for the year. I'm not, I'm sort of break even. I'm a little bit under, but like if it was any further down, um, yeah, I think it'd be good time to consider maybe next year and the year after if it was red like this. It's like okay, maybe this isn't worth it anymore. Maybe it's not worth my time. But being a hobby seller, I think I could just let it coast for quite a
Yeah.
while, like and not close the store down. But if I ever needed that money, I could like call you up and say, hey Derek, you want to buy my stuff? Free
Drop it on out.
Acromills, free Acromills. uh, but yeah, I'm not there yet. I'm totally not there yet.
Yeah.
I'm still, liking. I've been focusing more on acquiring used stuff over the new stuff because it seems like I can get a lot more value out of that. Plus, I'm not
Yeah.
spending a lot. I think I learned over the summer. I think I overextended myself by spending too much on clearance. and that's why this year has been bad for me. So, but finances is definitely one indicator that you need to look at. Um, like you said, are you putting your family out? That's another indicator. If they're like, if you're not happy and they're not happy, that could be an indicator. Um, are you having fun with this, right? Like,
Yep.
that's got to be something as well, to and maybe you're just not getting the sales, right? Like, maybe you can't diversify fast enough, or get the variety fast enough into your store. I mean, that is a challenge too.
Yeah. When it's slow, no, another thing I'd say is, you can take it easy, to recharge. You don't have to be like, oh, I got to get more uploaded because it's
Yeah.
so slow. I have the time. The one stress I would say that I had during this whole process while I was working on another job was when I'd spend a bunch of money, I'd put it out there, and then I feel like, oh, I got to get this stuff for sale. I got to get it for sale.
Yeah.
And that was the one stress I remember having, a couple times a month. I'm like, and then I want to spend way more time than I really should have down here, to get it for sale. But so that's something, that's not keeping it fun. So just be aware of your finances. Don't overextend, and then you have to, wait a month to get that money back. Because in the beginning I was buying stuff on credit cards and pay it off 2-3 weeks later. That was
Mhm.
that's the model I did it. I never have to pay interest on anything, but I know it motivated me to get it for sale, right? Not just let it sit there, a lot of it.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah.
that's one thing.
I still have two sets left apart out from the clearance over the summer, and I just go, God, it's just wasted opportunity, sitting there sometimes, but at the same time, it's like, I can't, I don't have the time right now to like dedicate, a couple weekends to that, to do it like I was doing in July. So, um, but it's good to have that backlog too. It's weird.
Yeah.
Like, having a backlog is comforting almost, right? But yet,
Yep.
yet it's also just wasted opportunity that's sitting on the shelf there for you.
I don't know about wasted opportunity in the end, because there's been multiple times where I pulled sets that I've just put in under the stairs and sold them for a lot more than I paid for them
Yeah.
after they were there for 2 years. So there's also that mindset of, should I just hold on to these, for 2 years, 3 years? Because I even pulled out a Brickhead Harry Potter and the Owl from
Yeah.
Barnes and Noble when they had the Barnes and Noble Bricktober pack. I bought it, and it's going for $50. I paid $12 for it from the store, brand new, 3 years ago. And I wish I would have bought more. I had no idea. And it's for sale in my store right now. So just those things that, it's not, I wouldn't consider it wasted. In the end, if you hold on to those sets, you're going to get a lot more than you paid for them, after
Yeah.
3 years or so.
So you've decided to hang up your store. Either you want out right now, or you're gonna slowly get out. What's your strategy? How should you get out?
I would just put feelers out there, on if anyone's interested in buying it. I've had a lot of people approach me. It hasn't been in the last few months, but earlier in the spring, I think in early summer, I had, probably 4 or 5 stores contact me. You want
Yeah.
to buy my store? I'm like, for me, it's a lot of work to do something like that, in my opinion. And I'm not into doing that right now. I mean, I tried to buy a huge giant store they wanted 15,000 for it, with a bunch of stuff not for sale. And it probably was a very good deal, and I would have probably been very happy with it, but I just wasn't ready to invest that time into it. So you just put feelers on it, what someone's willing to pay. And you got to be careful too if you're trying to look for someone, or if somebody approaches you to buy their store, because you don't know if they're pricing their stuff correctly.
Right.
There's ways to get a file from them and reprice it through the Brick Store program. But
What should I, as the store that's getting out, have prepared for somebody to,
yeah,
say I approached you with my
yeah.
store? What should I already have prepared for you to give you so that you can make that decision?
The Brick Store file that would have your whole entire inventory that I can put on my computer and verify the prices are correct, see what's in your store. I
Mhm.
mean, you can show them the store on BrickLink. Yeah, that's fine, but that does work too. But I would say that Brick Store file is valuable piece of information for any store that may be interested in buying your store.
Yeah.
for sure.
And I think some other things like have a price in mind, but be
Yeah. Oh
willing
yeah.
to be willing to negotiate. I think the I've never bought, and I've so like don't hold me to this, but I think the going rate right now is like 50% of your inventory value, maybe 40, 60%.
Yeah,
You
I
should
always say I'd pay a third,
a third. Yeah.
if it's good stuff that I really would want. So, and I bought a couple of stores from just small stores, and it was 25% was I what I paid because they were just friends, kind of like, hey, I'm one guy was going to the Air Force. He's like, do you want my store 25%? Or that's what it ended up being. And I'm like, yeah, sure. And
Yeah.
it was small. It was like less than 1,000 lots. It wasn't anything huge. It wasn't a big investment. So, there's that. But yeah, I don't know. I hear all the time people selling their stores, it seems like, but it's not for me. But
Yeah. The other thing to consider is like, what are you going to do with your infrastructure that you bought? Like, so
yeah,
do you have drawer cabinets? How many? Count up how many you have. Inventory that. Take a guess at how much you would want to sell that for. Maybe that's like an inclusion within your store and say, hey, it's this. Other things I think you need to consider is how you're going to ship it, how you're going to package it up for somebody, so that it's easy for them. It's going to take some work, and it's going to be an expensive. If you're shipping across the country, it's going to be quite a bit of money to ship that. So, like, are you just looking for somebody local? All these things are going to be factors in considering that kind of stuff.
yeah, for sure. Yeah, it's not easy. It's in my opinion. Depends on how. I mean, for me to sell my store,
Yeah,
you would have to have a real big time seller.
yeah,
For you to sell your store, you got a lot of stuff there. I mean, you have a lot of infrastructure. So
yeah. Hmm.
you would need a van full or even a small U-Haul,
Right,
get
right.
all that
Yeah,
out of there.
yep, yep.
So you just got to think of that. Like when I said before, do you want to invest long term or is this for a hobby for fun? That's yeah.
I think I've got a longer runway before I have to consider closing up. Like I can just
Yeah.
let it go and worry about it when orders come in. So
I
I think that's another strategy too, right? To
yeah.
closing up your shop. I remember there was somebody on YouTube earlier this year that was closing up shop, and that's how they closed up. They just increased their sale price,
Yep.
until they were at a point where they could like easily manage, selling their parts off to somebody.
Yeah, just like start your sale and every day or every 2-3 days go 1% more, 1%
Mhm.
more until eventually you're going to sell pretty much everything if you just get to like 75% off your store.
Yeah, and then
Reality.
then all you've got is your Acro Mills drawers, and people are desperate for those right now. So
And
like you could make a killing in those.
and the mindset is, well, I'm going to lose money at 75% because you normally paid, got 3 times the value of parting out or 2.5 times, but the reality is you've already made your money back and
Yeah,
everything at the end, in my opinion, is pure profit. You know what I mean?
yeah,
So that mindset of holding on to every cent is not going to help you.
yeah.
And it's you want to
Especially
get
when you're
out.
trying to offload it and be done, right? Like if
Yeah.
you want to be done and you need that capital, like don't set your expectations too high with the price
Right.
because you want to move it and you're going to have to consider shipping costs. You're going to have to consider time and all that. So
Yep.
yeah. Well, that felt like we're ending on a somber note there. What do you think?
Don't close your store. No,
Yeah, we're
give
just
it
giving
away.
you ideas. Nobody's closing stores. Nobody's doing anything like that. Oh man,
Do a
geez.
whole store giveaway if you want to gain some YouTube subscribers. You can do that, Ralph. And then what are you going to do your channel on?
I don't know. Yeah, yeah, definitely. All right, man. I think that's a good show.
Yeah.
I hope people found that valuable. Let's try to get through the slow period together, and hopefully it turns around in a month or so for the holiday season, and we're all swimming in orders coming up here, and
Yeah, I hope
we
so.
don't. Next month we have a more positive topic to talk about. So actually, if you have topics you want us to talk about, we're open to ideas. We've been open to doing like a live Q&A session at some point. We just haven't found the right time or avenue to do that. So we might do that on Pops's channel. at some point. We've been talking about that. So let us know, what topics you might want to hear from us, a hobby seller and a full-time seller, and what you think we can talk about. Other than that, anything else, Derek?
I just got to catch up on some home stuff, and you were mowing the lawn in your last video, so I don't think I got to do that. We have a lot of leaves to take care of, so we got to close up our camper today and get the water lines cleared. And
have you been getting this rain?
No, we've gotten no rain.
Oh my God.
A little bit in the morning.
We've gotten this northeastern storm that's been rolling in all week. Oh my God, it's like nonstop, cats and dogs.
That's crazy.
All right. Catch you later.
All right. See you guys later.